Since 2005, we've been investing a lot on renewables. The idea that we could have that our coal power plants could close was initially established in our document regarding carbon neutrality for 2050. But there, with the information we had in 2018, we predicted that the plants would close in 2030, maybe a little bit earlier. Then 2 years later, it was 2025 because things accelerated significantly in Europe and in Portugal. And then in 2020, EDP communicated for the first time that they needed to close the power station because it was not producing and running huge losses. So things they ended up being much faster than we predicted in the beginning. Our concern was, of course, immediate contact with the trade unions and the workers. In Sines, with the new projects that we have in Sines, most of the situations will be solved, and we believe that the entire number of jobs created with new energy sources in Sines will be higher, much higher than the jobs already lost or that could be lost in the future. So the net effect, we believe, is quite positive. In Pego, we will try to do the same. In Pego, it was the end of their contract. So their contract ended on the 30th of November. But our concern here is mainly conversations with the local authorities and the workers involved to ensure that we have as smooth a transition as we can. An example is the auction we're going to do in Pego to attract new projects. One of the requirements or one of the dimensions that we will use to evaluate competing offers is how many jobs they plan to keep or increase and how fast. And why? Because we want to ensure as smooth a transition as we can. So everything else constant, if a project starts earlier and involves a higher number of workers, they will have an advantage when compared to their competitors. Some days are over 100% when we have a lot of rain and storms. Hydro and wind represent more than 100% of our consumption. But on the figure for 2020 was a little bit above 60. In terms of renewables in our entire energy system, and not only electricity, so including everything, industry, transportation, we achieved 34% of renewables in total energy consumption in Portugal. So that's when we include all areas of energy and not just electricity and the power sector. And our goal for 2030 is above 80% in the power sector for renewables and 47% of renewables in the entire energy consumption of the country.